Hello, I'm Mary Beard, and thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery as we find out what schools really like for children in Roman times.
Most children started school at the age of 7. However, it was not mandatory for parents to send their children to school. It was mainly wealthy boys and some girls that were sent to school. However, most girls learned to read and write from their family. Classes were small and consisted of about 30 children, and lessons were led by a teacher called a ludi magister in a rented room or public square. And now we have a little more insight into the real Roman world of children in schools from our regular guest speaker, Andrew Wallace Hadrill. Hello, Andrew. Please sit.
Budge over, please.
Oh, indeed. Yes, we were just talking about the ludi magister. So,
Did you also know that education had to be paid for?
really?
However, the charges weren't very high. Whilst boys learned to read and write, which was widely appreciated, girls learned housewifery, which included cooking, cleaning, childcare, spinning and weaving, and music. Wealthy girls were trained to control slaves and were able to get married by 12, whereas boys had to wait till 14.
A slave called the Pydagoras escorted the pupil to and from school and was responsible for their behaviour and protection. Another slave carried their writing materials.
Pupils learned to read and write Latin and Greek and perhaps simple arithmetic using an abacus.
A tabulae was a wooden tablet coated in wax. It was written on with a thin metal stick, bone or ivory, called a stylus, which has a flat end to rub out mistakes. Several tablets were strung together to form writing book. Others wrote on papyrus with ink. An essay written by a Roman schoolboy in 150 AD explained the writing implements used. The slaves give me my wax tablets, my writing materials, and ruler.
Pictures of scenes in schools show that there were no desks or blackboards. Pupils sat on benches and stools, and the master sat on a high chair overlooking the class. Lessons were dictated as books were too expensive. Discipline was usually harsh and strict, and boys were beaten for the slightest offence. Some schools held pupils down by 2 slaves, while a tutor beat them with a whip. Lots of Roman writers had a lot to say about the strictness of their teachers.
Cursed schoolmaster, what right have you to disturb us before the cock crows with your savage threats and beatings? I could not see the use of things I was sent to school to learn. I disliked learning and hated to be forced. If I proved idle in learning, I was soundly beaten, but in spite of my terrors, I still did wrong by writing or reading or studying less than my set task.
Did you know a child would usually rise at sunrise, run all day, a short break at lunch? They would only return home at sunset.
Children worked a 7-day week, but there were many school holidays. Holidays were held on public festivals, and on every 9th day, which is a market day, during hot summer months, fewer pupils attended. Some schoolmasters closed their schools from July to October.
Many finished school age 11, and then wealthy boys advanced to schools run by a grammaticus, who introduced the work of writers, starting with Iliad and the Odyssey. They then studied Greek tragedy performed in Athens in 5 BC. Most commonly studied Roman poets were Virgil and Horace.
Pupils analysed grammar and learned long passages.
To this day, I do not quite see why I so hated the Greek tongue that I was made to learn as a small boy. I hated Greek literature. That was from Augustine of Hippo in Confessions. His autobiography from 428 AD spoke about learning Greek. Here is another one about learning Homer. I suppose that Virgil affects Greek boys when they are compelled to learn him, as Homer affected me.
And here we can see this carving, which shows 3 young boys being shouted at by their strict teacher. Probably forgotten to do their homework or something. But we see this little one holding a wax tablet. Maybe he's going to use his stylus to write a naughty poem or something.
A few students then advanced to the school of the rhetor, where teachers were highly educated in Greek, and gave advanced lessons in literature and trained students in public speaking. The rhetor taught rules for different speeches and made students debate, but these were pivotal to school life.
Here we have a gravestone of a young Roman girl. It says here, F.C. Jucundus, Flavia Claudia Jucundus. Vixit annus, she lived here for 9 years, and H.S.C. Hic sita est. Here she lies. This Roman young child would not have gone to school as a girl, but from the tombstone we can see that she must have been wealthy, so she would have stayed at home and been taught to raise a household and look after her slaves. Unfortunately, this one didn't make it. So I think that today we have shown that Roman schools and our schools were quite different. So I guess it's goodbye from Andrew.
Goodbye!
And goodbye from me. Goodbye.